I'm going to be transplanting some of these tomato seedlings today, and as you can see, because I used 2017 seeds, so it's quite old, I had delayed emergence with a lot of them, so I didn't have all of my seedlings come up at once. Some of them are really little still. Some of them are just starting to come up now, and so that's a shame, right? But I can't really, these guys are getting chlorotic. They need some fertilizer, so I can't fertilize these tiny little guys, so I'm gonna have to transplant the bigger ones into something else. They need something bigger anyway because they're drying out so fast. And when you're mixing up fertilizer, it should not look like that. I'll show you. Some people often mix it way too strong. I'll tell you about whiteflies. If you have plants that you're bringing in the fall, you're probably going to have some little pests that come along inside with. And what can you treat your other seedlings with? You're going to need, or the plants that you brought in, so that you can get rid of the pests and not kill off your leaves. With this, I found that it was too strong. When I mixed a few drops of this one into some water to spray on the underside of the leaves at night, so when the whiteflies were sleeping, about 3 in the morning or 4 or whenever I wake up, that's when I did it. And then this one I found worked really well with a few drops of water in the spray bottle full of water. But this one was burning the leaves. This one was also burning the leaves a bit. So that's no good. Now this one I found surprisingly was gentle on the leaves. It did not burn the leaves at all. But it also doesn't work that great. So I have to spray every day and be very careful about it and hope for the best. And this one, it didn't burn the leaves, and it worked okay, but not nearly as well as I'd hoped. But anyway, I wasn't really keen on using that because I wasn't finished the container. I find it's great if you want to get rid of the residual bits of whatever in your shampoo bottles or whatever, to use that for spraying, because then yeah, anyway. But here I'm gonna plant these, and then I'll mix up the fertilizer and show you. So I'll put those in. You don't have to be really careful about how deep you put your tomatoes in, because they're amazingly resilient to transplanting. And I can put a few of them in one container. I'll need to take this little guy out of the clump. There we go, put him back in there. Should be able to put in, I think, 6 at least. See, it's even rooting along. These are lemon boys that I've had their seeds forever. I've been collecting, saving seeds from parents and parents and parents, and so I've grown the great-great-grandparents of these tomatoes. And so now we're gonna have another year, and hopefully I remember to save some seed, and I will. And then I'll have new seed to use. So anyway, I wasn't too worried about whether these would grow. Honestly, I've used some old seed before and had it grow, and I'm really not too worried about how productive my plants are this year or anything. So even those little ones, they might end up in the garden, and they'll produce some fruit. They just won't be extremely productive. I have more tomatoes inside to transplant, but not more of these lemon ones. I'll just show you these. We'll see if I buried some little ones by accident. I don't think I did. Oh, maybe I did. There's one. So I don't want to bury them. I want them to grow too. There we go. A couple of here. I guess I have just enough to fill out one planter pretty well. There we go. I think I teased the roots apart pretty well without damaging them. I'll take this little guy too, because he shouldn't be in there anymore anyway. Okay, and that's that. So, let's give him a little bit of fertilizer now. And I'll give these guys a little bit of water, but not here. I'll bring them inside to do that. So, there's a lot of little guys left in there. Maybe I'll put this guy in. Maybe not. Maybe he can stay in. Maybe I'll stick him in here. So it's just one extra. That should be ready to get some fertilizer too. Anyway, so let's put a little bit of fertilizer in here and see how. That's plenty dark enough. Plenty enough fertilizer in there. Now this is already moist, so it's not going to be quite as strong anyway, because the mix that I have in here is already pretty moist. But there you go. That's as dark as it needs to be. And I shouldn't really be touching it, but I always end up doing it. And then I'll go wash my hands. So that's transplanting the tomatoes.